All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're going to break down some of the most famous marketing campaigns ever and really uncover the hidden psychology that made them work on all of us. And it all starts with a few simple questions you've probably asked yourself before.
Seriously, remember this? Back in 2014, for a few weeks, it felt like absolutely everyone was doing it. But why?
Or how about this one? Come on, admit it. You probably spent a little too long digging through a store cooler looking for that one specific bottle. What was that powerful pull behind such a simple idea?
And I bet you can hear it in your head right now, can't you? It's been more than a decade, but that little sound is still totally stuck on our collective memory. How is that even possible?
Well, the answer to all those questions is exactly the same. It wasn't magic. It definitely wasn't luck. These moments that seem so spontaneous were actually the result of a deliberate, calculated psychological strategy. So here's the first huge takeaway. We have to stop thinking of virality as some kind of lottery ticket. It's not. It's a science. And today, we're going to look at the actual blueprint. You see, the most contagious ideas aren't just creative, they're precision engineered. They find those pre-existing pathways in our minds, the cognitive shortcuts and the biases we all share, and they tap right into them. This quote right here gets to the absolute heart of it. That ice bucket, the Coke bottle, the body wash, they were all just props in a bigger play. The real product being sold was a feeling of belonging or of being seen or being in on an inside joke.
So how do you sell those feelings? Well, the first way is by triggering the crowd. Let's look at a trigger that's built on our most basic social nature, that deep, fundamental need we all have to connect and to conform.
At our core, let's face it, we humans are herd animals. We look to other people for cues on how to act, especially when we're unsure about something. If everyone else is running in one direction, our first instinct is to just run with them. That, right there, is social proof. And if you want proof of just how powerful that instinct is, look at this number. In just 8 weeks, the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge raised over $115 million for research. That wasn't driven by some huge ad budget. It was driven by us, by people. So how on earth did they do it? Well, the mechanics were pure genius. First, the action was super simple and really visible. You couldn't miss it online. Then the public nominations created this massive social pressure. I mean, you did not want to be the one to break the chain, right? And finally, when you saw your friends, your family, and even huge celebrities doing it, that urge to join in became pretty much irresistible. Okay, so we've seen how they can trigger the crowd. But the truly great campaigns also know how to trigger us as individuals. They do it by tapping right into our own ego and our internal wiring. Now, this is one of the most powerful motivators in all of psychology. We will work so much harder to avoid losing something than we will to get an equivalent gain. Our brains are just fundamentally wired to protect what we've already got. And the Got Milk campaign is just a masterclass in this. Think about it. They never sold you on the benefits of calcium. No. Instead, they sold you the excruciating pain of having a perfect, warm chocolate chip cookie and an empty milk carton. The pitch wasn't about what you would gain. It was all about that perfect moment you were about to lose. In a world that is just filled with noise, what's the one sound that can always cut through it all? It's your own name. Our brains are literally hardwired to filter for what's relevant, and nothing is more relevant to us than, well, us, our own identity. See? It's that cocktail party effect in action. You can be in a super loud room, but you'll always hear when someone says your name. Coca-Cola tapped into this exact feeling with its Share a Coke campaign. Finding your name on that bottle transformed a mass-produced can of soda into a personal artifact. It felt like a little treasure made just for you. All right, so we've got triggers for the crowd and triggers for the self. The final pieces of this playbook are all about creating an undeniable connection and a kind of intellectual itch that your audience just can't help but scratch. It's really simple when you think about it. We trust and listen to people we like, people we feel a connection with. Now, before 2010, Old Spice was, let's be honest, your grandpa's brand. This principle is how they totally reinvented themselves for a whole new generation. With just those 2 words, the campaign created the super likable, charming persona and this shared joke that everyone was in on.
It cleverly acknowledged that, yeah, women were often the ones buying body wash, and that invited them right into the conversation. It created this feeling of unity, making the brand feel like a friend you were sharing a secret with.
Curiosity is just such a powerful force. When we feel a gap in our knowledge, our brain treats it like a literal itch that needs to be scratched. So great marketers don't just give you information, they create a compelling need for that information first. The Why So Serious campaign for The Dark Knight was the ultimate example of this. Instead of just dropping trailers, they launched this massive, cryptic game. They didn't push information out. They created a giant mystery that made millions of people work together as detectives to find the answers, generating this incredible buzz long before the movie ever hit theaters.
So, you see, when you start putting all these different pieces together, you stop just hoping an idea goes viral, and you start actually engineering it to spread.
So here it is, the 5 core psychological triggers, all laid out. You've got social proof, our need to belong; loss aversion, our fear of losing out; personalization, our deep desire for recognition; liking and unity, our attraction to those we feel connected to; and the information gap, our unquenchable curiosity. This is the blueprint.
And look, these triggers aren't just for huge brands with massive budgets. They are fundamental tools of human persuasion. They work for launching a product, for leading a team, for spreading literally any idea you care about. So now you have the playbook. The only question left is, what are you going to engineer?